Hello guys, welcome to my channel Ismailbajarla. Today I'm gonna tell you what is Azure Blob Storage and how to create Azure Blob Storage. The Azure stores the data in the form of objects. In the same way, the blob storage is also stored in objects. And blob storage is optimized for storing massive amount of unstructured data. Here, the unstructured data means the data is not sorted and the data does not adhere to particular data model or definition like a text binary .csv data. Now let's move on to blob storage designed for serving images or documents directly to a browser and storing files for a distributed access for the various clients and streaming video and audio all like for the Netflix, Amazon and YouTube and writing log files. The login data is saved in the blob storage and storing the data for the backup and restore and disaster recovery and archiving and storing the data for analysis by an on-premises or Azure hosted service which are present over there in the ADF. And the main purpose of backup, disaster recovery and writing log files into the blob storage. Now let's move on to accessibility. Here, the database admin can directly access through the Azure portal. Coming to the users and clients, they can access through via HTTP or HTTPS from anywhere in the world. Objects in the blob storage are accessible via Azure Storage REST API, Azure PowerShell, Azure Command Line Interface, and Azure Storage Client Library. Now we look into the necessary terms to know while creating the Azure Blob Storage. We're supposed to have an Azure Active subscription and resource group that which we are deploying the blob storage and storage account region. As we know that Microsoft having multiple data centers around the globe, so we can select the particular account region. And coming to the performance, Azure provides two performances for standard or premium. We can choose which one be suited for. And Azure storage redundancy. For this topic, I'll make a dedicated video. Okay, let's move on to the hierarchical namespace. If we enable the hierarchical namespace, the blob storage will become as data lake storage. So we'll discuss this topic on the data lake concepts. Now let's get started for the Azure lab. This is I have an Azure Active subscription. Here we can create the storage account from the search bar or else we can click storage accounts here. It will list all my previous storage account. I'll click on a new and here the all prerequisites or necessary terms comes into picture. I supposed to select the Azure Access subscription and here the resource group. If you are having any existence resource group like this, you can select this or else you can create an instantly. I'll name this as first resource group. Just click on OK and here we're supposed to give storage account name. I'll give this storage account name as first storage account. The name is accepted. If I give any hyphen or underscore like that, it won't take because it is having some because the name should be following these rules. And we're supposed to select the region. Okay. If the name is already taken, then we'll rename it as this follows. And we'll select the region and I select Central India as my default region. Coming to the performance, we can select standard or premium. If you are using general purpose or any type of like movies or something, we can choose standard, or else for bank transactions, ATM transactions, we'll go with the premium. Coming to the redundancy, there are four redundancies: locally redundant storage, geo redundant, zone redundant, and geo-zone redundant storages. Coming to the locally redundant storage, these are all preferred for the low cost options, and they provide the against protection for rack and drive failures, and recommended for non-critical scenarios. And coming to the geo-redundant storages, there are intermediate options for failure with capabilities in secondary region recommended for the backup scenarios. And coming to the geo-redundant, these are intermediate option protection against the data center level failures and recommended for highly availability scenarios. And coming to the geo-redundant, these are mixed with the geo-redundant and zone-redundant storages. Coming with the premium, we are having three things: blobs, best for highly transaction rates or low storage latency, because the transactions are in the fast but they need less space. Coming to the file share, they require to file share with the customers like Netflix, Hotstar, and YouTube. And coming to the page blocks, just like for the websites, we can use page blocks for the websites. And now the redundancy is only available is locally redundant storage for the premium for the above option. Okay, now let's move on to the advanced. Here, the only thing which we need to understand is hierarchical namespace. If we enable the hierarchical namespace, the data or the storage is as the data lake storage, not the blob storage. So we'll uncheck this one and go with the networking. Here, enable the public for all networks. This means if we are not enable this one, we cannot share the resource with the clients or with the another programmers or the another database designers. So I click enable for the all the networks. Let's move on to the data protection. We'll not have much thing here. And coming to the encryption, if we want to the encrypted, we'll go with the second option. Or else we don't have any encryption are required. So I'll go with the first one only and click on review. Then our thing was processing. All the data is validated once. Then only the data has we can create the and deploy the blob storage. Okay. Okay, I'll select the premium. So I'll go back and select the standard version. And here I can select the local redundant storage only because it costs nothing. And once it validated, we can click on the create, and this takes several seconds to deploy the blob storage. So now it is deployed. We'll go with the resources, and we can find all the things which are related to the blob storage. We can find my resource group, location, subscription, and subscription ID, and all the things. In the left side pane, we can having the multiple or lot more applications or lot more options to modify our data. I'll go with the containers which the data is to store. I'm having only logs container, that means the log data is saved into here. So now I am supposed to create one more container here, and I'll give the name as Ismail Bajarla. If you want to change the settings, we'll go with the advanced option, or else we'll have this name, and we can choose the private or public endpoint, and we'll select the create. Now my container is deployed successfully. I'll go to container, and we can upload the files into here, and we can export the files from here. I'll upload a file here. Because the data is unstructured, I'll upload a file, that is my resume. You can upload the resume because all data is unstructured. Just click on the upload. Yes, my PDF is uploaded. Now we created the block and we uploaded a file into it. Thank you for watching this video. Comment down below your suggestions for best content in our YouTube channel. If you like this video, please like, share and subscribe our channel Ismail Bajarla. Thank you.